Hi, I'm Davin O'Gara. I'm a real estate expert in the LA area. Today we're going to talk about if I think the market's going to crash, considering everything that's been going on with inflation and how high this market has gotten today, and it keeps going up. I want you to hear my honest opinion being a real estate investor in this market and also someone who sells it. Hopefully that's going to help you make a good decision if it's a good time for you to buy or not. So let's start with the facts, right? Let's start with what happened in the last crash. Over a decade ago, it was very easy to get a mortgage, right? Today, they want to know everything about your life, right? If you're divorced or not, if you're not a W-2, they need to see all of your bank statements for the last 12 months. So they need to see consistent money coming in order to lend you money to buy real estate. Back then, if I had a W-2 and a gig on the weekends, which is a job that would fluctuate, wouldn't matter to a lender. They would figure out a way to lend me money based on that extra income, or even qualify me for more or for a second property or third property because of that second job that is not stable that I had, right? So based on that, you can understand it was a lot easier to get a loan. Therefore, a lot of people that shouldn't be getting loans were getting loans, and when they didn't have that second job anymore, they couldn't afford to pay their mortgage, and the crash happened. So the main differences between back then and today from real estate owners, from someone who buys real estate, is back then there wasn't as much information available as there is to the average person today, meaning only people that had a lot of money and that were in the right environments knew of all the benefits of real estate, right? If you own investment property, you get depreciation, you get a bunch of tax write-offs from the expenses and all that stuff, right? It's basically a business, right? Which a lot of people know about it today, meaning if their property is rented or if it's on short-term rental, Airbnb, you name it, and it's making money and it's an investment property, and they get the write-offs, they get the depreciation, there's no need for them to sell. It's a benefit to them. It's saving them money in taxes, and it's making them money every month. Back then, people didn't have that much information. Also, today, it's a lot harder to get a loan. Like I had explained previously, it was a lot easier for someone to get a loan back then. Today, they need to know everything about your life. And if you own property already, that's going to be counted as that. It just gets a lot more complicated to qualify for more and more properties. That's why we find ourselves in this type of market today where, people keep their properties because they don't need to sell it, right? They get benefits from it, they make money off of it. And then the inventory is really, really low, and there's a lot of demand for it, meaning a lot of first-time home buyers or baby boomers downsizing, or people looking for investment properties, save on taxes and make a little extra money. Lots of demand over here, not a lot of supply over here for all this crowds looking to buy real estate right now. The reason why the last few years we've seen the market going up like 10 to 20% every year consistently, especially like in LA, it's because, just like I was saying, the tax benefits, right? Like, oh, I own this investment property, it's on Airbnb, it makes $10,000 a month, and I get to depreciate the property, save on taxes, I get to write off all my expenses. It's a benefit to me. I don't have to sell it, right? And then you have that generational crash, baby boomers downsizing, millennials trying to buy their first property, and they're both looking for the same type of property, creating a huge demand for those properties. And then we have another problem where in 2010, we basically stopped building up until the last few years en masse, right? So there's not a lot of properties out there for the amount of people looking. And to me, until that problem is solved, the market is not going to correct itself. So that's another reason why I don't believe it's gonna crash. I do believe it will adjust at some point, possibly next year, but I don't think it will crash just because of how regulated it is and the type of demand that's out there. Another reason why I think this market is not gonna crash is there's a lot of corporations buying single family homes now, not just apartment buildings, converting them into smart homes and renting them out to like millennials that a lot of them now cannot afford to buy a home or are not in a position to because of medical bills or because they're spending money on things that they shouldn't. Those corporations are expanding really, really fast. Just to give you an example, one of them, Tricon, they have about 300 to 400 properties available in the Sun Belt area in the US a week. And they have 10,000 applications of people looking to rent those single family homes. So their demand is huge. So they're looking to expand, meaning they're gonna keep buying more homes, cash, right? And that's not gonna help decrease the demand, and that's gonna decrease the supply. Meaning another reason this market is gonna keep going up. My opinion, after everything that I just told you guys, basically, yes, it is going up out of control. I do believe it will adjust maybe next year, maybe the following. I don't think it's gonna crash. You can take the example of countries like Australia that barely ever had a recession. I would say the US has to learn at some point, not that we're never gonna have a recession, but to me, it's not gonna be as bad. So if you're looking to buy, and if it's something that, hey, if I move out of this place and I can rent it and it will pay for itself, make me money, and then I can turn into an investment property and get the benefits, the tax benefits of an investment property, do it. Why not? Because you don't know if that property will go back down to that price that you're buying for. Me personally, a lot of properties, I don't believe so. To give you an example, this property that I'm sitting on, let's just say the market does deep. This property is 850 square feet, right? The market slows down. It's a small property, may be hard for me to sell for what, 900, 925, which is what's worth now, right? However, because I can show that this property can make $11,000 and $12,000 a month on Airbnb, someone will pay me 900, 925. I know that, right? So like certain properties, and you may think there's very few of them, that's not true, there's a lot of them. You're still able to hold its value as long as you bought right. And buying right is not like, oh yeah, I got a deal. Is something that once you're out of it, it's a benefit to you somehow. So that's how you gotta look at real estate. Hey, this is a place for me to live in it now, but when I move out, what can I get out of it? How much money can I make off of it? You always gotta look at real estate that way, and then you'll be fine. So even if the market slows down, which I believe it will, it wouldn't matter to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you make like a good educated decision if you're looking to buy or sell right now. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you guys on the next one.